Welcome to the 90s Vault Podcast. We're your vault keepers, Ryan.
And I'm Jeff.
Eat my sword.
Go.
Welcome to the 90s Vault Podcast, and I'm your vault keeper, Ryan, and thank you for joining us today. We're going to be having a frickin' blast today because somebody's getting their ass sent to the Shadow Realm. But before we do any of that, I want to introduce a brand new sponsor for today. So a brand new sponsor that's joining the 90s Vault is going to be BLTs.com. Come and check out BLTs.com. I'm rocking out the Werewolf by Midnight gear, but they have over 300 shirts, and their imprinting is just phenomenal. The quality is of the t-shirts. They've got wicking, standard, dry fit, all different kinds. So definitely make sure you check out BLTs.com. And I'm
still waiting for mine, you know.
I'm going to make sure you get it. But before we get into anything else, Jeff, I think we got a little word of the day get going, right?
Ready? Here we go.
Today's secret word is Hadouken.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
There it is. Hadouken.
Hadouken.
On the trampoline with my kids, they laugh so hard because I don't think they know what it means. So I'll battle them and they're like Hadouken, and I'll just slam them, and I'm like and just make up words like. I know what I'm talking about.
So y'all know what the deal is with the word of the day being Hadouken. Make sure that you listen for today's special word of the day, which is, again, Hadouken, and you'll have an opportunity to win this amazing Funko. So I'm giving away, well, the one and the only Satoru Gojo from JJK. So if you want a chance to get this, make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know just who your favorite Street Fighter character is. But also make sure that you're following us over at 90s Vault for more.
Yeah, and that's a great little segment right there with the Hadouken. So
that's what I'm talking about.
So we have our guest today will be Michael Bierek. So we've known him probably a little bit more than high school, but we actually became really good friends during high school. We did a video production video production for our school. We did the announcements, and he kind of did our intro. So let's play a little bit of the intro that he did actually in high school.
I'm excited.
I'm going to go ahead and share this. You want to see this? You want to see this one? It's a good, the music will be our good friend, Tyler Hilton, that did this one. So
you may or
share
may
my, let me share my,
Tyler,
my screen
if you're seeing this, hit us up.
Here's the intro.
Hello, miss, I'm sorry I didn't catch the rest. When it comes to women, baby, you know I'm not the best.
So let's welcome Michael Bierek.
What's going on, Mike? Thanks for coming on to the show today, man.
Yeah, you bet. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, brother. It's been a while since I've seen you, and it's good to, catch up and see what you've been up to. You got a little bit more tattoos than the last time I remember you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got every single one of my tattoos in the last 4 years. So basically, from the I don't know, you guys can edit stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much you guys have scripted in terms of going into the different things, but before I jump into it, it's doing the before doing after doing the while I was doing the game stuff, I always thought tattoos were cool. Never had a problem with it. It just never really was on my radar in terms of the art form. I was just really focused on illustration and stuff for movies, games, magazines. And then I met my friend, now my good friend Ian Miller at Ian Miller Art or at Ian Miller Tattoos on Instagram. He is a phenomenal tattoo artist. When I met him, it just completely changed the. It was like an about face for me. I was like, wow, I haven't been paying any attention to this stuff, and I should be, because as an art form, it's definitely matured far further than I understood where it was even at. So then,
the technology is insane. I see you on Instagram and I'm like, wow, you can 3D print those things up on your sleeve already and it looks phenomenal. You put it on there. It's awesome, dude.
It's
So
amazing. Your
it's
work is
crazy. So
just outstanding.
what have you been doing since, I mean, shit, we haven't seen each other since high school. So we graduated. Tell me your journey, buddy. Tell me your journey.
Sure. So I mean, yeah, like graduated high school, got my first flip phone as a graduation present. I was playing Snake, dive into the '90s thing already, or I guess it was 2002, right? So technically doesn't quite in there, but close enough, right? But
Right.
I did drumline for a while. I marched with I suppose it's fair to admit, like a prestigious drumline, the Blue Devils Drum and Bugle Corps from
Wow.
Concord. It's the winningest drumline like in history. There's a whole thing that's like the kind of like NBA of drum lines. It's called Drum Corps International, DCI.org. Yeah, the Blue Devils just like they like since I think they won the most like titles, and yeah, I was really fortunate to have like made the auditions in my last year like, doing drumline stuff, and that was a huge part of my life. I basically put all my art stuff on hold so I can eventually march with those guys, and I was fortunate enough to march with them. I made a lot of good friends, and still do some drumming stuff to this day. But immediately afterwards, I got into art school. Started working for a bunch of different companies and the entertainment industry, and then did that for like 13 years and survived all that. And, yeah, and then towards the end of that, I met Ian, and by that time I was already pretty. I don't know if I'd really use the word jaded, but I just felt like in terms of like just my general sentiments about just my general sentiments about what kind of work I want to be doing and what kind of stuff I want to do with my life, it just kind of changed from that. I started feeling like
Right.
video
Mm-hmm.
games were just kind of too bureaucratic, and as much as that might seem surprising, because it's like create like video games is like a creative industry. You go in there and you make cool stuff for a living. It's true to a point, but then like man, there's just a lot of like
Yeah.
there's a lot of like, hey, we need 100 different color variations on Master Chief or something,
Right.
and it's
Yeah. The
just like
renders and yep.
The fun's now gone
Yeah.
from it.
Well, I worked. I didn't know. I don't know if you know this, but I worked for PlayStation for 2.5 years. I did a little video game editing, so I was on the backside of it,
yeah, I remember.
video games, and did trailers and teasers. But I wasn't too heavy involved in the the gameplay or anything like that. I was more of like screen capturing and promoting. So I was on the marketing side of things with PlayStation. But yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yep, absolutely.
yeah,
Hey, Jeff.
Hmm?
I didn't know you had a tattoo.
Who?
Look on the screen.
Oh, is that the side of my head?
I don't know. It looks like you for a second. Like, you hiding anything up there, bro?
I don't know. Maybe when I go see Michael, I might get that.
Right.
I might get a Voltron on the side of my head, though.
There you go.
I'll take
Get
dibs on
some.
that too.
Get the black lion on there. Just
This is amazing work, Mike. Like, how long have you been actually working, like, doing this?
I've been doing it for 4 years, like just
Wow.
yeah. I started at 25 or so $50 a tattoo, but it was like because I was an apprentice, it's a 50% split with the shop. Got to keep the doors open. So
Yeah.
I was making $25 a tattoo in the beginning. Luckily, I had a little bit of money, stocked away that can kind of like weather me through that beginning period. But by the time that that was all running out, like I started making enough money that I could sustain myself on it. So, yeah, like it was a lot of hard work. It's still a lot of hard work,
could imagine.
but yeah, it's incredibly fulfilling. One thing I'd say, a big difference that I have that I feel like is closer to like my kind of things that just like I personality wise I gravitated helped me to gravitate more towards tattoos is that concept art is like sitting in a chair all day in front of a computer.
Yep.
And just drawing stuff all day, and the only suntan you really get is from the glow of the screen.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know. Some people like they just like they have that kind of like that sitting strength or whatever. But like for me, it's like it's just always been difficult to just make myself just sit there and just problem solve constantly all these creative decisions behind the screen. I mean, the thing is, I'm still doing that stuff on people, but it's something that's so much more engaging because I get to talk to the person. Like there's a constant communication, and sometimes I'm not going to be pushy about it. If someone doesn't want to talk, I won't.
It's like an Uber driver. It's like don't talk to me, but just go ahead and tattoo me, or
But to a certain level, like you're also like a therapist. Like, man, like
it's almost
sitting
like
there, it's
bartending,
incredibly
Yep.
intimate and personal. And sitting there, you're hearing these stories. If there's a connection to the piece, if there's not, whatever it is, you're that first line of communication.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
and I props, man. Like even like you're a very talented artist, and like looking at all this art is insane, and doing this on somebody's skin is crazy.
Right.
Like the skin, it's got to be hard. Like that probably took you a while just to even get the skin tone, like just to tattoo on a person's skin compared to,
It took me a year and
paper.
a half of doing it every single day. 5 days a week, but like just to feel comfortable. It's like, okay, I think I'm starting to understand what makes it like stay in the skin. So, like,
right.
And and to make sure that like the darks are dark enough and like it lightens up the right way. Those are still finessing things that I'm still kind of like trying to zero in on, because it's a never ending thing that you're trying to chase after, just like perfect tattoos. But but I mean, especially in the beginning, it was difficult because like your skin isn't just not only is it not just like a piece of paper that's like on a flat desk, which the pencil and the desk give the resistance against the paper, which is consistent. Like the skin, every square inch of your body has like patches of different kinds of skin. Like this skin right here is different than this kind of skin, and then this area of skin is about the same. And then like the transition between areas here, it feels different. When it bumps up against the bone, it thins out, and then it'll go into elbow skin, which is like elephant skin.
Yep.
Yeah, like all that stuff requires different approaches and kind of considerations. Like you never put too much detail in this kind of area, and just a whole thing.
I couldn't imagine, man. Like, so what tattoo place are you working at right now?
So right now, I apprenticed with Ian Miller at Legion. And, he graduated me after about a year of doing it, and then I just been working with him ever since. We're now, I guess, we're 50-50 on the spot that we're at right now. It's just me and him.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like literally just paying half of all the shop costs, and
well, let us know where your shop is. Where is that thing at?
Right.
That's in.
Where's Legion?
Where can we go get tatted by you, buddy?
Oh yeah, no, it's in Lincoln, California. So basically, just a little north. It's like northeast of Sacramento. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's probably
right.
like 20 minutes out, something like that.
Okay.
We'll definitely make sure that we're following you there. But I just saw something that blew me out of the water on your drumline stuff, and kind of leads me to my next area. Is this?
Yeah.
This is epic, dude. That is freaking just amazing, Mike.
Thanks, bro.
What a great idea.
Wow. Oh.
I know it's like it does a little bit choppy.
Sorry about that.
No.
No, that was amazing though, Mike.
Yeah,
like
that was
absolutely
great.
phenomenal. Not to mention, I love the fact that you had your Moncats on.
Oh yeah,
The shirt that you were rocking. I absolutely love that line.
yeah. I'm a huge fan of their work, and it's one of my favorite shirts actually. I
That's
got two
just
cats,
cool.
and yeah.
That is just phenomenal. So
Yeah.
now it kind of leads me on to the next side. We can already kind of tell that you're a Street Fighter fan. Did you see the news of the new fighter that's getting, or actually just got dropped a couple days ago?
Yeah, Terry Bogard.
God, oh yes, dude, yes. Have you seen the gameplay trailer for him?
Yeah, I did. It looks fucking sick.
My
I can't
God.
wait.
I haven't
So
seen it.
I've already got that pulled up. We'll watch that trailer right quick. And I would love to just get some of your thoughts on it, like with the new mechanics and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's check it out.
Okay, so here's the Easter egg right away. If you want to pause it. So check this out. Already within the first 2 seconds, of this trailer. So in the original Street Fighter thing, and like from that drum video I just showed where like it shows that 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 white guy just like punching that dude in the face.
Yeah.
Like if you rewind that and watch the first 5 seconds of that, the same thing. They recreate that in this, and then Terry Bogard coming in a taxi. Yeah, and then Terry Bogard coming in a taxi. That's his original intro from when his first appearance.
holy hand grenade! It is.
Yeah,
I didn't even recognize. I wrecked the Street Fighter one, but with the Terry Bogard, the taxi, that was like right on money. I didn't even see that. But like, this is just amazing. Like, I absolutely love TV
Fight,
back
drink,
in
eat,
Final
sleep,
Fury.
repeat.
Yeah.
So
Seriously, it's a good life. I'll pick up the check.
I'll pick up the check.
Oh, and then you got Joe. I see you, my boy.
Come on, get ready. How you? Come on.
Oh, this looks fun.
Terry was always fun. And Joe. King of the Fighters, any of that was my jam.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't know how to comment on it too much, frame by frame. It's video's coming a little bit choppy on that.
Yeah.
But I guess I can probably kind of give overall just say I'm excited about him because the traditional Shoto players like Ryu, Ken, Akuma, these Fireball guys, they're classic characters are really fun to play. I like to play Ken sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Terry is like Shoto's with a twist. Like he's got like the Shoryuken with like the uppercut, but he does it like this thing where like he goes upside down and he shoots up with like his like legs and this like kind of spinning twist thing. It's like, all right, that's kind of different. And then his fireball is like he punches the ground. It's like this like shock wave that goes through the ground. It's like, okay, right on.
He's gonna be a nice play off of Ken.
Mm-hmm.
You just think everything about him. They're definitely going to have the interactions before their fights, everything.
Yeah.
Because really, like, Ken Masters is Terry Bogard in King of the Fighters and vice versa.
Yeah, so
just like how Joe is Ryu.
Yeah, and exactly. Like, and a little bit of interesting history on Terry and Ken is one of the original creators of Street Fighter, like the character designers from Street Fighter 1. When he actually came up with the idea of Terry while working on Street Fighter 1, but then when he left the project and that team started making Street Fighter 2, he decided to take like this idea of Terry with him to create the new game with the company Fatal Fury. So that's pretty interesting. So he's actually almost as kind of like this is the first time he showed up in a mainline Street Fighter game. So it's almost like a kind of a coming full circle sort of a thing.
Right.
Like the original creative
Mhm.
Street Fighter, one of the original
Wow.
creative Street Fighter coming back to kind of showing up with his creation, coming
Right.
back around. It's kind of
Almost kind of like in comics with like I think it was Jim Layfield left, or no, Todd McFarlane left with Angela and put her in Image Comics, and then she comes back around after Marvel buys her and takes the IP back. So that's kind of cool. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fucking neat.
I just read that recently. I was like, that's really cool because he initially was going to put him in Street Fighter 2 as kind of being like a rival to Ken or something like that, or maybe even kind of rework Ken to be Terry Bogart. But then he's like, you know what? Let's, I'm going to do my own thing over here and just ran with it.
Yeah.
Wow. See, but it just makes so much sense. We've already had Street Fighter Tekken, we've had Street Fighter Marvel, Street Fighter Capcom. Why I think the most perfect game would honestly be a KOF Street Fighter crossover would be amazing. Because there are so many great fighters that were just in King of the Fighters and Fatal Fury that just don't get enough love.
So
Perfect.
So check this out. Your dream may have already come true, and this will be good for the fans of the podcast. If you it's like just recently, and this is huge in the fighting game community. Capcom just released 2 fighting game collections, and or they're releasing one before the end of the year, and another one next year.
Yeah.
It's a huge compilation of all these just major fighting game titles from these all kind of put in a collection. So like one of them is actually Capcom versus SNK. SNK is a company that makes Fatal Fury and King of Fighters and all these. I'm pretty sure, right? I might be wrong about that, but it's like King of Fighters has like Mai Shiruni and Terry and Joe and and they just released a trailer. And there's some fan reactions that people going absolutely out of their fucking minds.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh my god!
I'm stoked about it just for the sheer fact it has the Punisher and fucking Nick Fury game on it. Like,
wow, there's X-Men in there
was
too.
One of my, which is the weirdest thing because it's not really a fighting game. It's just it's a side scroller. But
how great is that? You might as well just throw everybody in this fucking mess.
Yeah,
right
I didn't know that it was going to be a 2-piecer. I knew that they had the one coming out later this year before Christmas, but I didn't know that they had another one coming out. But it totally makes sense. Because Switch is just trying to capitalize.
Yeah. So that's right. It's like Marvel versus Capcom, and then the second one is it literally just is like a few days ago. So it's like really fresh news. But yeah, that's. So that's pretty cool. Yes.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So one of the things that you may not also know, but if you're a huge nerd, you might actually know Michael Bierek's name. So, and the reason you might actually know Mike's name outside of just all the work that he's done in the field of art and putting his passions down is this man's worked on Magic the Gathering. He's spent years working for Wizards of the Coast and that's
awesome.
What would you say? At least like 150 to 200 cards under your name right now, or how many?
Not quite that much. I have a little over 100 cards, and the most recent one just came out. I think like last month.
What was that one?
Yeah,
that one was called. Let's see. I think there was 3 of them. One of them is what is it called?
Magic the Gathering.
One of them was in the Karlov Manor. I think it's called Take a Bite Out of Crime. And then
Take a Bite Out of Crime.
Let me take a look.
That's awesome. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up a whole list of Mike's cards that he's worked on. And
there you go.
Let's pull those up.
From Magic the Gathering. This is from the Gatherer. So look at some of these from Emmett Eternal, Arrogant Bloodlord, Artful Takedown. This man has done some amazing cards, and it's just crazy. Let alone the other day I was going through, and because I just got back into Magic after like 25 years because of Mike. And so I wanted to build something for him, and I found one of his cards, and this dude created Soul Ring, and I was blown out of the water.
Crazy.
Like I was like, what the heck? So like, how did you even like get to working with Wizards of the Coast, Mike?
Yeah, how'd you get it? How'd you get involved?
Yeah, so it was interesting. I was at this convention in Seattle for like it's like a big game convention, and I was an art student at the time, and I had my portfolio from school, and I was just looking to shop it around and see what was going, what was if I could get any bites, and I really didn't have any expectations because I knew I was going to just be in a big Shark Tank, So
Right.
like one of my friends like, bro, you should show your stuff to Wizards of the Coast. I think they'd love your work. I'm like, okay, sure. So I went over to him and showed. I showed one of the art directors there, and I'm trying to remember the name, but it eludes me right now. But I showed him the, my stuff. And he's like, hey, you got great work. You want to work for us? And I was like, okay.
Wow.
That easy, huh?
It was literally that long of a conversation. It was just like that. Exchanged emails, and we've been working with each other ever since.
That's awesome.
All right,
dude.
so kids, remember, if you want to have a shot, just take your shot. The worst case scenario is they say no.
Yep.
That's absolutely phenomenal, Mike. My God, man. Wow. So yeah, I geeked out because like as a 90s kid, I played Magic, I played Pokemon, I played Digimon, but then even like Yu-Gi-Oh. And so like I created a video for us, and just for little shits and giggles, like, you want to throw that one up, Jeff?
Which one?
The little video that I created for us?
Let's see what we got here. I already have it up here. Let's see what I got. Here we go.
Alert the other Rangers at once.
That's not it.
Sorry. Just kidding. Here you go.
90s kid, you should know that there's no hope in anything.
Not quite. I have my hope right here in my hand.
Take a look at this fuckface. Exodia, the Vault Keeper. What the with the 5 snacks of being a 90s kid. No way, hold up. I was born in 1999. I've got pogs. With this, 90s Hellfire Flames. Yo mama's so fat and yo adopted.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It quite did. That was phenomenal.
Like, this is reinvigorated, like having Mike here like reinvigorated my love for like TCGs and just like collectible card games. Like,
so good.
but so like when we're talking about it, Mike, like just being a gamer and growing up just being a 90s kid, what were some of those games that were just like maddening to you? Like what's on the list of those hardest games that you had as a kid
that influenced you for sure?
Because like with all this talk about Elden Ring and Dark Souls and Wukong recently, which by the way, amazing game. I've already put in like 25 hours into just the Wukong, and I just love Black Myth. Like, it's fucking amazing. The art style is just epic, but I'm geeking out.
Yeah. Well,
so what are some of those hard games that you just had as a kid, Mike?
The first one that comes to mind is like a controller throwing level of difficulty was a Gran Turismo, trying to get the A class license.
Oh my
It
god!
drove me out of my freaking mind. I never got it, so I just gave up.
Same here. But you know what? I think that's one of those like super highly underrated, like you're saying, Madden, like controller throwing mad level rage.
Dude.
Trying to get that, because I'm trying to remember what the requirements for was. It you had to beat all the tracks on the B license, but you had to have them under certain times, I think, or something.
Yeah, and I'd get through it, and I'm just like, oh, I think I got it, and then just like a fraction of a second, it's like, God.
And how touchy is that remote too? It's like
Oh my
you fucking sneeze and you're fucking in the wall.
Dude, and I don't even think that was with the analog stick at that time. Gran Turismo 1 might
Yeah.
have actually been directional input,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
It was. I really
yeah.
want to say I think maybe like Gran Turismo 2 might have been analog, maybe even 3 if we're really stretching it. But like God, yeah,
I mean,
GT1 was definitely directional
I
paddle.
mean, now they're in cars, so I mean, you got the full steering wheel. You got these people that are like built full on cars in their fucking rooms to play this
Yeah,
game.
like suspension mounts and everything.
Oh,
and
it just moves for them, and
damn.
they're just they got the screens that are left to right, so they can see and shit. It's insane out there.
It is. Yeah, it's a full blown like frame, and it's like they move left, it goes with them. It's crazy when you see some of these guys. So I could definitely attest to that one. And so,
Mhm.
like, if we're staying in the driving genre, do you guys remember the Stuntman game?
I
Oh
never
my
played it, but
God.
I've heard of it.
God, that one was right up there. I think I at least snapped like 4 of those PlayStation 1 controllers because you couldn't even beat the tutorial. You couldn't
Yeah.
get out of the parking lot. Like literally, it was so hard because they gave you like a minute to do all this shit or something, and it was just impossible. But it was like right up there with like Battletoads and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about for you, Jeff? Like, what was one of those just brain games that just destroyed you?
Oh shit. The one that didn't really destroy me was probably I don't know. When PlayStation first came out, I think it was Resident Evil.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was more of the. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't too hard, but it was more of the scare factor. Like when everyone's asleep and you're sitting here playing this game that's so dark, and you're just by yourself, and you're like, "Holy shit, something's gonna fucking come out at me." And
God.
and it was kind of hard, like solving the problems, like solving the puzzles was kind
Right.
of challenging for me.
That was
Um,
something new in itself.
it was like a new, and then the puzzle pieces, and you're going back and forth, and you're like, "Shit, this dog's gonna get me again. I know where it's coming from now." You know what I mean? You played it 3 times, you're like, "Fuck," and you still lose, and you get all pissed off. So I'd say
Damn
Resident Evil is
dog.
like one of those. Yeah,
I don't
coming out of
condone
nowhere. I'm like,
shooting dogs in the face, but damn it, Resident Evil, you made it hard on us.
yeah, there's that one level where you go down and you pop out. Dude, fucking came out of nowhere and just you're just like shit. And then it probably took me like fucking 10 times to get past that part.
That's a good one. I'd
Yeah.
even have to say like one that drove me insane as a kid. Like, and I don't even know like because it wasn't necessarily hard. It's just like we didn't have the internet to make it easy. Was Final Fantasy VII.
Oh
Like
shit.
beating Ruby and Emerald and just like I'm a completionist when it comes to games. So I got to get everything. And this is before awards, but I remember my friend showed me Quadra Magic and Knights of the Round. And so like I just had to have me a 45-minute cutscene. And I wanted that for myself. Like I needed to have that and I needed to have my gold chocobo. And so, but I remember just beating Ruby and Emerald was just maddening because right out of the gate, you're on a time frame and she automatically just destroys 90% of your party. And it's a constant battle. But that one, I remember the strategy guide was like that thick and it was like $45 from GameStop back in the day.
Yeah.
But I remember going there and they made me buy the manual because I was writing everything down. They're like, you can't do that. You read it, you buy it. Fuck you. Fuck you. I pulled the Kaiba and just fuck off.
Ew. Oh man.
No, man. Because like I don't really think like some of the like I'll argue that like the companies that make like Ghost of Tsushima, fucking Elden Scrolls, Elden Rings, Dark Scrolls, like all of those, like or Dark Souls, not Dark Scrolls, like those are a different level of hard, but like I could be willing to bet we could put any one of our kids down like in front of Battletoads or TMNT.
Oh, dude.
I could bet them a home and they wouldn't be able to beat Battletoads. You can have me in your mom's house, guys. Like Jeff, just tell your kids, like you can have this whole home in San Francisco. Just beat this water level of TMNT and see what happens.
Good fucking luck, bro.
Right? Like that should be like you're graduating right there. Like it shouldn't
Yeah.
be like, did you pass your classes? Can you simply just beat the fucking racer level of Battletoads or beat the water level?
You can never
Like,
do it.
Jesus. If you can't, no, you stay, and you'll be a 43-year senior until you can.
So hey Mike, so what's like the like, do you have any, did you tattoo anybody like anything with the 90s like theme? Have you tattooed anybody with like a 90s theme on them yet?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay,
Like
so
video games or anything like that?
yeah, actually, one of my first tattoos, my sister wanted a Sonic the Hedgehog tattoo on her ankle,
Nice.
so I tattooed that, and it's funny because like I was using like a blue outline for it, and as I was doing it, Ian comes around. He's like, "Oh, you shouldn't use blue ink because that won't hold the shape very well." And I'm like, "Great! Now that I'm already done with the line work, thanks for the heads up, bro."
Thanks for telling me this in hindsight, man. Like,
Yeah,
I might have to
but I guess that's part of the interning and just working is having
yeah,
that.
yeah. And to be fair, it's like you know, like these things are flying by. You're flying by the seat of your pants, pretty much. It's like I didn't think to ask. I didn't think to that like using any old color would actually change anything. But yeah, I just went over the outline again with black later. And
That's
I
just
might
cool.
I might have to come with you. I might get the Voltron like sleeve. I might have you do like a whole Voltron scene on my sleeve. Would be sick.
Don't talk dirty to me.
I am talking
Yeah.
dirty because I've been wanting this forever, and this is why I have these still naked.
You know what?
I'm just trying to figure out a nice theme, buddy.
My
I'll let
guys,
you go to town on me when I
my
come up
guys
there, buddy.
tell
I'll
me
be
this
like,
all the
"Let's do
time,
this."
Jeff. Don't talk about it. Be about it, man. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you laced up, man. We're gonna get you there, bro.
It's already on the schedule, bro. It's too late.
No, so like when we're just talking about that, Mike, like who are some of your influences like in the tattoo scene that are constantly just feeding your creativity?
So I'm kind of a jack of all trades guy. Like I really enjoy doing like illustration style work or black and gray realism, American traditional. I actually kind of enjoy sentimental stuff. Like my mom comes in and is like, I just want this little thing, and like just getting to talk about that kind of stuff. That makes me feel connected to the idea of tattoos being meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll fuck up a skull or some like pinup girl any day. You know, give me all the smoke. But that stuff makes me feel good too. But yeah, like Henry Lewis from San Francisco in terms of like illustration style stuff. Like this guy is mad.
Yeah.
This guy is mad. And
Is that Warhammer?
I just told him like, all right, the theme is like if you can, if you want, like just Death Knight. And he's like,
dude, that is
Death
epic.
Knight. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a flaming sword right there. It's his hand holding it and stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, awesome. Wait, are you a closet tabletop player? Like, are we seeing some Warhammer 40K up in here? Like, that's sick, man.
Dude, beautiful.
But so yeah, Henry Lewis is definitely an influence. I'd say as far as like long-term goals, I would love to do like, because I don't think I'm ever going to give up just being like an all-rounder. I enjoy the idea of like the service idea of tattooing. Like I don't, I'm not, you know, I don't want to be a prima donna where I'm like, I just want to tattoo these kinds of people over here and like a club or something. Like I'll tattoo whoever. If you want, you know, like, you know, expensive Russian caviar, I'll give it to you. If you want
whatever you need.
How do you want, you know, lettuce, tomatoes, grilled onions? What do you want?
You know what though? But I've even seen that because I been recently just filling out a few different inquiries for, you know, artists. Like, and that's some of the things they've asked, like, what are your favorite snacks? What music do you want to be playing? What TV shows like do you want to play? Because some of them will have you, you know, come to their house and work, and it's like it's crazy. But I mean, I guess I get it, like almost on like the concierge side of things, like you were saying, the service, you know, making it more intimate. It's what music, I guess the patron wants to listen to, you know, you're just providing the service, but they're leaving with this amazing piece of art with them. Yeah. And that's the thing that blows me out of the water is they're leaving with something that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. And I don't even think they really think about that. You know?
Yeah, no, it's interesting how someone can come in off the street and be like, I've never got a tattoo before, but just on a whim, I just wanted to get a tattoo. And I'm like, word. Well, it's kind of goes both ways in an interesting way. Someone can go in there and they're not particularly precious about like just like they come in and like, I just want a tattoo. It's my responsibility, even though it's my day job. Like every single day, I'm doing this thing day in day out, and whenever they leave with something on their bodies forever. I have to keep that in the back of my mind the whole time.
Yeah.
Every single mark I make, I have to be very precious about it. And, I'm at a point where I don't feel like I'm throwing up anymore before I'm doing it from the stress of it. But it's definitely something that I feel like if you lose respect of that, you're just basically saying you don't respect your client, and people are going to feel that, and it's not going to be, it's not going to.
No, and like you said, it's genuinely, it's going to come across. It's the disingenuousness is going to come across, the energy, everything's just going to come across because it's not something that you're invested in, and I get that because like even what I do, like if you don't have a little bit of nervousness like going into it, that's maybe something to look at. If you go in thinking like you're always going to get a hit like a baseball player, like you're going to be sorely disappointed. But I even like how you said it, like very demure, very mindful, very classy, very, very aware, because every mark is something that's intentful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it, man. So also like what style like would you say that really is in your bag? Like what's your go-to? If I walk in, like what would you recommend for me?
Well, I guess I would say eventually, if I could eventually be known for kind of a style that people would want to like get from me, it'd probably be stuff kind of like this stuff. I really like that illustrative kind of just like sounds like a thrash metal guitar solo or something like that. Like that, I just really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. Again, it's yeah. For me, it's like I think I could approach my career like one of two ways, right? Or I think maybe a mix of both. Like one could be like I insist on my voice first, my voice first. That is a very steep hill to climb when you're just trying to learn how to do the thing. And I feel like if you're insistent on that, if you're in the right place, the right time, and you have the right just kind of X factor of tool sets, you're ready with the drawing capabilities, then that's something that can serve you really well. And I opted to be able to keep a roof over my head, at least in the beginning stages of my career, by choosing to just cast a wide net, jack of all trades, master of none. But as
like
another part of the saying that's not quite as popular is always better than a master of one.
There it is.
That's
there
actually the complete phrase.
That's a good one.
It makes sense though with finishing work. That's why it's called finishing work. No one ever wants to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael, being a '90s kid, growing up, so what were you, a DC or a Marvel?
I was always a Marvel guy. I wasn't like an avid comic book collector, but I reread Uncanny X-Men #1 like a million times because that 4-page spread with like Cyclops from Jim Lee and the Wolverine,
Yes.
So sick.
Dude, that Jim Lee cover was iconic. That Fatal Attractions run was my God. Like I remember it's just weird, like on topic, off topic. I went to a tattoo convention. It wasn't even a tattoo convention. It was it was San Diego Comic-Con, and the guy had the full 4-piece cover vertical on his back.
Holy
just
shit.
Beautifully done. And what he did was Jim Lee was there and he got it signed, and then he went and got the signature tattooed on him. Oh my God, this was a grade A piece. Like it had, like, I'm going to be willing to bet it had to be one of those like competition level pieces. Like somebody was working on this because it was just beautiful. And the way they broke it up, it looked like it was each one of the covers. So a 4-piece segment. It was just gorgeous. High def detail, but just with the Wolverine and the Cyclops, and then you got Magneto on that back end on the far right one.
Oh yeah.
That was just an amazing one. Like, and it's crazy. Like, even that was 92, 93. And so we're still talking about this almost 30 years later, like 22 years later. Jim Lee is still being known for this. Yeah. Like, not for leaving and really, I mean, he did with Image and everything, all the other guys, but still, like, he's known for that run of like ripping out Wolverine's adamantium and all that. It's like, damn. like I'm gonna be honest, was anybody a DC kid in the 90s? I don't think I had one friend that was like, yeah, you gotta read that Batman run or that Superman run.
Yeah, no, I was a big Batman fan, but I did like my Marvel comics. I did love the X-Men. Was like, definitely, you can't get away from that.
Let's be honest, like, DC had great characters. I feel like DC has great story-driven characters, if that makes sense. But Marvel just has better aesthetically pleasing characters. I love reading like Cable, Deadpool, like anything from Layfield. I loved that run, like X Factor and X Force growing up as a kid. There was just something edgy about everything. Forge, everybody, like, as a man, clearly I have no hair. Like, everybody had long, luxurious hair. Like, everyone had a gorgeous mane. Even fucking Storm had a kick-ass mohawk, and I'm over here with a 12 head. Like,
12 head, I know.
But it's like, even now, like, think about it. Like, I can't even, I mean, DC does great stuff, but like, there's just Punisher, Deathlock, Cyclops, the X-Men. There's just so much more.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do concur, but I think it's almost time for a little pop quiz, I think.
All right.
Let's see what's going on here.
Let's get it.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
All right, Mike. So this is our pop quiz hot shot segment, and we've got 3 different questions for you. We've got a movie segment, we've got a music, and a TV show. I've got 5 to 10 seconds of each one of those pulled up, and you're just going to have to guess. None of these are too crazy outside the box, but one of them definitely might be a little challenging. So where do you want to start first? Do you want to do movie, music, or TV show?
I think we did a video.
Or sorry, on this one we actually did a video game.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Video game, music, or movie?
We can start with movies.
Movies?
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm going to play about 10 seconds of this and go ahead and tell me what this is, okay?
Okay.
Larry.
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance. I know there's a lot riding on it, but it's all psychological. Just got to stay in a positive frame of mind. I'm going to execute a button hook pattern super slow-mo.
Yeah, that's got to be Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
And we got a winner.
Let me play it in slow-mo going,
I played a little longer than I should have, but hey.
All right, so you got that one. So now, do you want to do music or video game?
Let's do video games.
All right.
Well, there's no way you're not getting this one for sure.
Right. Fuck.
I don't think we planned this one very well. Yeah,
was that Mega Man? I think of Mario Brothers 2 or something.
I think it's Super Mario Brothers 2.
Man, you're close.
Wow, did we screw up on that one? Holy crap.
Yeah, we kind of fucking Stevie Wonder can fucking see who that one was. Considering that he did a drum line for us of it.
No shit. I'm like, oh, okay, we played that one. I'm
fuck
like,
us running.
Fuck that one. All right, well, let's see if we can get this music one, okay?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh my god, dude. I can't believe it. Like, I know I've heard that song a million times. I don't know why.
Give us the band name.
So this, just to let you know, Mike, this will be the first time somebody has the chance to go 3-0.
Yeah.
If you
Really?
get this,
Okay.
you will be the first person at the vault to go 3-0 in the pop quiz.
Damn. I might. Man, I don't know if I'll get it. I almost. It's like definitely like it's ska or no, like I didn't hear the horns in it yet, but like.
Okay. All right, let's hear. We're liking where your logic is leading. Okay.
I want to say Cherry Poppin' Daddies, but I feel like I'm not correct at all.
Ooh.
But then I might be correct because of that. But I don't know.
Okay, so I'll give you this: they're in the same graduating class. They're in that same field. So you're right. Like like when you're thinking Voodoo Glow Skulls, like Mustard Plug, like
it's in
Skink
there.
and Pickle, like you're right there with us, man. I mean, it just
Is this Skanking Pickle?
No.
All right, all right. I'm not the chosen one.
So these guys really blew up. They were probably one of the like top 5 bigger ska bands. Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish. Oh yeah. Okay.
Some RBF, man. Like that was RBF, the beer song.
Word.
So
all right.
Hey, still nice though, man.
Well, obviously we gave you the toss ball or the softball on the video game one for sure.
Oh God!
Man,
just speaking of, he's like, Mike, did you watch The Crow yet?
I have not seen The Crow. Actually, the thing is, like, I am like, people get surprised by like how few movies I've actually seen. I've seen like some movies. Some of them are like really good, like Stanley Kubrick stuff. I'm a big fan of his stuff.
Right.
But then, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a lot of movies where people like. I just saw Snatch for the first time. I just saw
great movie.
Love it.
Super good.
Smoking Aces is good too.
Dag. What? Do you like Dag? What?
Dags?
Oh, do I like dogs? I like dogs.
What was like the best 90s movie you've seen when you were growing up? Well, like what was like the number one you used to watch when you were little in the 90s?
Okay, so for sure, like before I got into high school, it was just Star Wars. Just like that's the only movie I just watched all the Star Wars movies all the time. Huge Star Wars nerd. But then let's see, movies that I watched before that like I don't know, like we watched a lot of like Disney movies growing up. Like we were raised Catholic, so we watched all these like Catholic Christian cartoons on VHS and stuff, and.
Disney was definitely big. They're redoing. They're doing a movie called Mufasa. You see that? Yeah. Disney's going to release Mufasa, so that should be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, that will be interesting.
Yeah.
I actually put on that like kind of like CG Lion King with my cats hanging around just to kind of see how they would react to that. It looked like they gave a shit for like maybe like 30 seconds, and then they were like,
"Peace out."
At least once in my cat's life, I have to Simba them up to the sky, and then just push them off the couch. That's all. And when they look at me like they're just up there, like, "What are you doing?" I just fucking push their head, and they fall off. I got to treat it as such. Like this, you must know, Simba, that everything your eyes touch is ours.
Right.
Except for that over there. That's dad shit. Don't touch us. No, like I know the reason I asked, I went and saw that new Crow, and oh my God, I will tell you what, like it makes you appreciate the 94 Brandon Lee so much more, dude. It even made me appreciate the Crow TV series.
So the trailer was off-putting then, I guess, huh?
The trailer was off-putting, but there were really, and like this is probably why like I would not make a good TV reviewer. Like there was no redeemable quality in that movie. Like literally, they just took a couple of the quotes from the movie, threw them in there. They decided that the guy that played fucking Pennywise, which still not a bad one, Bill Skarsgård, great actor, love him, but it's just a carbon copy of the original Crow with some new music, a little bit edgier, like
a little extra blood.
Yeah, it was not good at all. I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, it's getting torn apart right now. I mean, it's still better than the Borderlands movie that came out, but which I was so disappointed for that one because I love the video games Borderlands.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially when you know, like, it could be done well. Like, what is it?
Like Fallout.
Thank you, Fallout. Yeah, the Fallout show. Everyone keeps telling me I gotta watch that.
You have to get on that one.
Wait,
that one's phenomenal, dude.
Are you kidding me, Mike? Like, as somebody that's worked, like, okay, guys, Mike actually has worked on the Fallout Vegas game. You haven't seen the series?
Dude, it's worse than that. I haven't even played the Fallout game.
What? What? Wow. Okay, if I just my little bean brain is just like pinataing around right now.
Like, you have to get tonight, maybe tomorrow night. I don't care what night you're doing this. Go watch that. Go watch the show.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Oh my God! Like they did such an amazing,
great job.
Like, I have to be honest, it's right up there with like the One Piece live action because I'm a huge anime fan. The One Piece live action was phenomenal, and I got to watch that like 6 months before it came out, and I just couldn't. Well, so I have a friend that works for Netflix doing translating, and so he sent me this that was in Cantonese and Portuguese, and so we were just watching it. And he was asking me questions about Luffy and Usopp and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like, why are you reading it? He's like, no, I'm watching this thing and it's, through the such and such. But he had a DNR, or not a DNR, a non-disclosure, an NDR. Or an NDA on it. So he couldn't talk about it.
Couldn't say shit.
Yeah. So like he just sent me like the first 3 episodes. And so I got to watch that. But no, like it really feels like that's what, like with Fallout, they did such an amazing job, like translating a game to the lore and the episodes and everything. Like, I want more of the vaults now. Like, I need season 2.
Yeah, I've been jonesing for season 2 right now. So you can just powerhouse through the first one, Mike. You'll love it. I guarantee it.
Right.
I guarantee it.
So I'll watch it after the podcast tonight. I'm
yeah. Dude, at least just like the first episode will have you hooked.
Yeah.
Like the first.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh shit, you'll be jonesing for you might watch the whole series tonight if you start.
Like,
so.
Okay.
Cinematically and thematically, like they do a great job. Like
killer job.
Fuck, just blowing it out of the water. But so like, there's just that there's been a lot of different talks. Like even like these are the discussions. Like, all right. I was looking earlier today and I was just looking at like movies that are going to be getting a reboot from the 90s. So, okay, these two movies I kind of have like a real pet peeve with because like just leave them the fuck alone. So, okay, the first one is Goodfellas.
Ooh.
Why?
Goodfellas? Hold on, let's do a little segment here before we get into movie talk.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Yeah. I don't know either. So yeah, we gotta. All right. So
now we can talk about a little bit of movies.
Now we can have a little 90s movie fun. Yeah. So there's just a whole laundry list of movies that are going to be getting a reboot, and whether or not this is actually in talks, or if it's just an idea, an abstract idea, they're talking about Goodfellas and Casino getting
I don't know if I want to see that.
Like a remake. Like, I don't know. I'm in the opinion, I'm like anti-remake on it. Like, how about we take a shitty movie and remake that? Why do we have to take a good one? Like I'm going to be honest. How about we give like that 99 Godzilla like another remake? How about we just reshoot that one like again, like, or the fucking 2001 Hulk? let's reshoot that one. You know, why do we have to take a good one and reshoot
Why
it?
do you got to touch those? Like, don't even touch those, please. It's like, even if they even think about it, there've been talks about doing Goonies. I'm like, don't touch Goonies. Do not touch the Goonies, please.
Well, yeah.
For Christ's sake.
Like stuff like that. Who could even like load a cast like that? Like Goonies cast was loaded,
dude.
You know, same thing with like Goodfellas and Casino. Like, who out there could even like fill a role like a Joe Pesci or a Robert De Niro? And then here's the thing, you know that they're going to bring them back into the movie in some capacity.
They'll play an extra side character or do like a guest appearance.
You know, same thing. And with Casino, like who would play like a Sharon Stone? Who would play, you know, a Joe Pesci, a Robert De Niro? There were so many amazing actors in that. You know, Gandolfini fucking just loaded.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, is there a movie that you would like to see remade?
Like, what deserves a second chance?
Yeah, what does deserve a second chance, do you think?
Man, I agree with you guys. Like, just like some shitty movie. You know, actually, you know what? You know, it'd be kind of an interesting one. Would be the original Star Wars movie. That would be kind of interesting, actually. Because it's kind of a shitty.
I don't know if I want. I don't think I want Disney touching that.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I do get that, but if they were just to like literally just kind of like, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I mean, I agree with you at some point. Like, if
that would be interesting.
George Lucas came back and Disney had no hand in it, I would back that up 100%.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, like, I definitely feel like Disney's track record with Star Wars has been pretty hit and miss, and definitely more misses. You know, like, I did actually like Book of Boba Fett. That one wasn't very popular. I felt like there was something kind of like old school Star Trek campy about some stuff that some people are like, it just feels too old. I don't like it. And I was like, kind of mess with it. But then you have Mandalorian. I thought that one was really good.
I thought that was great,
amazing.
Mando was awesome.
Yeah, and then like you know, Baby Yoda was just like a cultural phenomenon. Everyone's like, I mean, Baby Yoda, right? It's like it was like kumbaya moment for humanity. All of a sudden, over this.
Collectively, humanity had a sigh of relief. It reminds me of Monty Python, and the people rejoiced. Yay!
Yeah, so good.
No, but like I'm right there with you. Like it's weird. Like I feel like Star Wars. Like whenever they try to touch their main stuff, they kind of fumble the bag somehow. Like really, when I look at the new ones that came out, but when you look at Star Wars TV, a different ball game. They do a pretty good job on their mini series and their short series. Like Ahsoka was great. Mando is, like you said, collectively, I think you're probably a terrorist if you hate baby like Grogu.
Yeah.
You know, and then honestly too, how can you not love yourself some Pedro Pascal? Like,
right.
Dude, if I was, he could, and I would. Like that's my daddy. Yes. But no, like everything about him, even like their Bad Batch wasn't amazing. Star Wars, their animated series, like Rebels was awesome. Clone Wars was epic back in the day. There's so many ones that you don't even need any Jedi or Force related stuff for them to be great series. And I just proof is it's proof with what is it, Rebel One? Like Rebel One.
Rogue One?
Yeah, sorry, Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was excellent.
Yeah, Rogue One was
gorgeous.
Fucking awesome.
We heard about the lore from the very first movie, and we finally got to see what that dangerous mission was. You know, so it's just crazy. So I think that's where Star Wars and Disney just need to like stay parallel with like side by side. Like Disney needs to stay in their lane and just promote them and let Lucas Ranch or whoever's working on it now just do them.
I think just Jon Favreau, make him do all the things.
Yeah,
he is responsible for Rogue One, responsible for the original Iron Man movie with the
guy has a golden touch. He's like Midas.
Yeah.
He whatever he does turns to gold, man. So let him just keep doing that.
You can polish a turd and make it look gold.
Right. So. But then you look at it, anytime that they don't have like Favreau attached to anything, it turns into dog shit. It turns
Mhm.
into this woke BS. Nobody's
Yeah.
read any of the source material. Like that blows me out of the water more than anything. Like, but it doesn't. When you read about these series that failed or these movies that failed, like
Mhm.
Scarlet Witch, Multiverse of Madness, even like Black Panther, which it didn't fail, but with Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, nobody read any of the source material over at Marvel. They were actively told not to. It's going to
Really?
limit your ideas and your creativity. So
Shit.
That
it,
sounds like it was. Yeah, that was coming from someone who. It's like someone who thinks that fan service is lame or something. It's like, well, you know what fan
right.
service is ultimately? People who love the franchise and like they love the franchise because like the people who made this stuff put a lot of care and love into
Right.
their work and it resonated with a lot of people. So I mean, like, are you saying that like they shouldn't love these old ideas because old ideas are old and they're
Right.
bad? It's like what does that
You like
mean?
get out
I
of
don't
here.
even.
Like
Yeah, it's come
there's
on.
so many great ways and it's proven like when you read or when you watch some of these newer Marvel movies that actually are doing well, like proof is in the pudding with Deadpool 3. Like
Oh,
I love Deadpool and Wolverine. You can take old characters, old storylines, and the way that they reinvented everything, that whole movie, like honestly
It was
was
so
just
good.
an
I
it was
haven't
an
seen it yet.
homage. It
I
was
still need to see
I
it.
love how it was an homage to 20th Century Fox. It was just like, hey,
Yeah,
thank you for
it's so funny.
everything you did for us. But in that same motion, it was just backhanded, like, fuck you.
Dude, yeah, that movie gave me the same kind of feeling of like revolutionary, like blockbuster movie that Guardians of the Galaxy did when I first saw that.
Hmm.
Right.
Because that movie,
It,
like when I first saw that, like I was seeing that with like a couple of my friends from like one of the concept jobs I was at, and the guy I was sitting next to, I felt like we weren't like super close friends or anything. His name is Jeff Simpson. You can look it up. This guy's work is insane. He like works on all like the big movies, Marvel stuff, and like all the major his work is insane.
Hmm.
But like we hung out that night, went to the movies with a couple other friends, sitting next to each other. I could tell that like we're kind of watching the movie. It's like it's like I felt like for me, I was watching it with just kind of like I'm just here to enjoy myself and to just if something's funny, it's funny. That's it. It
right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
But
Yeah.
doesn't
like
have
watch,
to be for any reason or anything. Just it's just funny.
yeah,
No.
and as the movie was going on, like I realized that this is a very like silly movie. Like this movie is
Yeah.
very silly, and then like I was kind of chuckling a little bit under my breath because I didn't want like some sophisticated artist guy being like, oh, this fucking plebeian over here. But then I noticed him kind of chuckling and doing the same thing, and I was like, okay, he thinks it's funny too. We were both just like fucking cracking up on like just all that
Mhm.
stuff. And it was funny because after the movie, and I was in Montreal at the time. I don't know like if this makes any difference culturally or whatever. But me and him came to the movie, and like my other was like, "What do you guys think?" He's like, "Oh my god, that was so fucking good, it's amazing." And he said the same. Then like my other friends were like, "Oh, I thought the movie was fucking shit. It was fucking shit. It was just the whole movie was exposition." And I'm like, "It was hilarious. Shut up, get out of here. You guys aren't
Good.
fun."
You know what though? I'm right there with you. Like I love the fact that like with Guardians, it was just so self-aware of what it was.
Yeah.
And it poked fun at everything. It was humorful. It just even from the very end of like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm having a dance party.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah,
everything around it was just everything plus two. Like that was the first time we really got a taste of space in
Yeah.
like Marvel movies. We had only
Right.
had like ground level or earth level superheroes at that point. Like, so I can even say the same thing like with Mike, you sharing about that, like with seeing Doctor Strange for the first time, like with the magic side of stuff was like, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I
that's
thought that was
weird.
dope.
Like I thought that was neat. Like just
Yeah, and even like the
aesthetically.
Yeah, and the psychedelic stuff too is dope. When like Tilda Swinton was just like, boom, like his
Oh
his
yeah.
soul like exploded out of his body. It's like
Hmm.
this is freaking cool. It's like
Forced
I feel like
astral
Mind
projection and stuff. Like,
mind
yeah,
blown on that one.
but like even like with Deadpool, like I love the fact like, and everybody's seen it at this point now, like all the spoiler stuff. But like with Wesley Snipes and Jean, or with Jennifer Garner and Channing Tatum and all that. Like that was awesome right there. Like we need to give Blade needs to be making a righteous comeback, like as an MCU.
I would definitely watch it.
Like he needs to come back in the new one on some level, some capacity.
Yeah.
Like he needs to make an appearance. He looked really, really good.
You know, it was good. You know what I saw recently too was I think they're doing like a Lord of the Rings show now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the Rings of Power.
Have you guys been watching the Rings of Power?
No,
I only saw the first episode, and I actually thought it was dope. But then some people thought it was horrible. They ruined Lord of the Rings. But I mean, I don't know. Like maybe I didn't watch enough of it, or you know, I want to be fair too, because like okay, Rebel Moon I thought was hot garbage. Rebel Moon was hot garbage,
dude. So okay, I'm 41 years old, and I just found out like 3 weeks ago Rebel Moon was a Star Wars.
Yeah, it was initially supposed to be a Star Wars movie, but then like
no idea.
that like. Yeah, Zack Snyder pitched it as a Star Wars movie, and then they're like, nah, no. And he's like, well, I'm going to make this movie anyways. And it just like, it seemed like just a grab bag of just cool stuff. They're like, now we got to have like a flying...
fucking horns on this robot. That's, horns, man. Everybody likes deer horns.
Yeah, so actually this is a good segue for, okay, so like that movie, so Dance Party of Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like that was a fun movie. There was something just very lighthearted and fun the whole way through. Rebel Moon, like to me, it's like okay, I just saw this Mark and Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, right?
Oh, okay.
The South Park guys. Yeah, like a clip about explaining their creative process, and I thought this was one of the most brilliant and succinct like description of like how to make an interesting like anything. And he said like, okay, so check this out. If you're writing a screenplay and your story beats are all connected by and then that's when you know you're fucked.
Yeah.
And he's like, what you need to make sure, and they said we do this with our own story beats on everything we do, is like we'll say this, therefore, or but. So everything has to be this, therefore this happens, but then this happens, therefore this, and then that turns around and becomes this. Because like I feel like Rebel Moon was and then and then like, and then there was a flying panther, and then there was this giant mechanical spider,
and then but it does like no more and then no and then.
Yeah.
But it really does make sense, and like because I've heard that too with like South Park in their creative process, they use like causality and causation, like in the idea of like if this happens, if A happens, B could happen, but if B happens, C might also happen. So there's ripple effects onto stuff
all the way
but
down.
Then also I love the simple idea with them that they work amongst chaos. Like they do an episode a week. They not even in that like 40 like 52 hours or something like that. They just crank anything out. So they figured out their formula. They're just super self-aware, because like that isn't going to work for everybody, but for them that works. And the way they explain it, just like you did, Mike, of if you lock yourself into and then, those and thens are going to stop, and then you're really fucked. Like that's why that's how we have 30 seasons of this shit, is because they've actually connected stuff. But that's what good series do. I don't care if it's a game, I don't care if it's anything. And it even kind of leads me like onto the segue of stuff, like even like with Magic. Like, do you know, have you seen the secret lair drops, Mike?
I haven't seen the latest ones.
Okay, so there's like some crazy ones. Like I picked up the Godzilla lands. I picked up the Transformers when they came out. I picked up the Jurassic Park ones. And so it's just crazy how they're taking these connections and they're finding ways to make them popular now. It's interesting because even now they're going to start getting into the anime stuff, because like looking at your digital work and seeing like your guts and all of that, like they're going to be doing stuff like that. Like someone was saying they're doing a Berserk set soon,
sweet.
And then even, because in one of the Lord of the Rings, they had a variation of Soul Ring. You know.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because like that's what got me back into it was with Lord of the Rings, because I was starting, the Rings of Power season 1, which by the way, and I can see it on both sides. I grew up reading The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion. I grew up with J.R.R. Tolkien. It's the Silmarillion, but it's not. They change a lot of stuff. They sped up the timeline. So the Silmarillion really deals with like the second and the third age of man. Really, the Rings of Power deals with like the second age of man, but we're seeing what could be like Gandalf. There's certain big characters that don't appear until the beginning of the third age in this. So like even one that we got that people have been dying for years is Tom Bombadil, like old Tom's. Yeah, old Tom made an appearance, and so that's fucking like dope. But when we went to San Diego Comic-Con this year, all the cast members are there, so I got his actor's autograph and stuff like that, and it was dope. And so he signed the quote. It says, "Let me see the ring." Because in the book he asked Frodo to let him see the ring, and he puts the ring on. So there's just all this shit about Tom, and so it was just fun stuff. But
nice.
You definitely need to watch it if you haven't. It's genuinely worth a watch. Like,
gonna have to look
even if you don't, if you know the storyline, if you don't, the cinematography is just visually amazing. They do a great job. Like Peter Jackson just killed it again. So what do we got next?
Where'd he go? And he's gone. Well, Mike, it's nice catching up a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing good up there, and you're having fun.
Thanks, man. I'm happy to hear you're doing great too. I mean, you're a dad. Like, how many kids you got, man?
3.
3 kids.
I got a 5-year-old, I got a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I got 2 boys and a girl.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Go win trade for the world, man.
Yeah, and also
it's all the above, brother. Trust me, I know. It's tough. It's super tough.
That was
there we go.
All right, everybody. So that wraps up a magical session with my boy Mike today. And I just want to say, Mike, thank you so much from Jeff and myself for coming into the 90s Vault and just sharing your journey, your experience, and just having fun with us today, mate.
You bet. I had a blast catching up with you guys, and it's fun just reminiscing and just talking about all the movies and I hope to catch up with you guys some more at any other given time, whether it's over a tattoo or just conversationally or on another podcast, whatever's clever.
Dude. Yeah, well, trust me, I'll be up there soon getting my Voltron sleeve. So you'll probably see me soon. Trust me, I got your number. So
you know what? Screw it.
I'll let you draw on me.
If this episode gets 100,000 views, I will have Mike tattoo the 90s Vault podcast logo on the back of my head.
I'll get that on my.
So you know what? Hey, Mike, let everybody know where they can find you at, where they can follow you if they're interested and would love to get some work done.
Yeah. Okay. So best place to find me if you're looking for tattoos is at Mike Bierek Tattoos, MikeBierek Tattoos on Instagram, and really I'd say that's about it. And then as far as like just drumming stuff, because I actually just started a drum page, Mike Bierek Drums, at Mike Bierek Drums on Instagram. That's another one that's brand new. I have no idea what I'm even doing with it. It's not really a for-profit thing. It's just I love drumming, and I'm just gonna keep making videos because it's fun.
Well, awesome. Hey, guys, y'all heard it first, man. Let's get some followers over there to Mike. Let's share some love with him because this man has the skills on the pads. I promise you that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Catch you on the flip side, buddy.
Right on, brothers. All right.
Mike, thank you
guys
so
have a
much,
good night.
brother.
Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Guys.
All right.
Jeff, I think that wraps up for us today, man.
Yep, that was a great episode with Mike, and our slogan is "Be good,
be rad, and be 90s."
Be 90s. Peace.
Deuces. Oh.